Hello, welcome to
the Kahlers.
the birth story update.
These are the two babies.
They are
7 pounds, 10 pounds.
And they're almost 3 months old now. So,
Can you say hi?
say hi, Pensy. So this one's Pensy and that's Raleigh. Okay, so our birth story video. That was Yes, that's what it's called, right?
So we've had a lot of traction with our birth story video. It has I think over 1 million views now, and thank you to everyone that's clicked that play button to view it. And we've had a lot of
awesome comments. There's like over 1,000 comments of just people encouraging us, because if you have twins, you know what it's like. It's crazy. But it's awesome. And just people saying they love the story, they love the video. It reminded them of when they had their babies, or they had their home birth, or they had their twins. Like, different people related in different ways, so it's really cool.
There's some comments on there like, oh, I had twins and now they're like 50. Like, holy crap, like that's a long time ago.
Yeah, so it's just awesome. Well, my mom's sisters are twins and they're like 50 something.
Yeah.
Sorry, aunts, but yeah, so it's like, and your grandma is a twin.
Yeah.
His grandma is actually a boy-girl twin, and they were born on June 12th, which is the same date that they were born on.
Yeah.
So it's really cool.
Super cool.
So, I mean, and she's like, I don't know how old your grandma is.
She's in her 70s.
Yeah, so it's just cool to see just people relate in different ways.
Yeah.
Then there was a lot of hate comments. Not too many, but there were some people that just...
There's a couple threads. You should go read them.
They're really
funny.
funny.
To us, they're super funny.
I mean, it's sad that people, like, bash on people like that, but...
Yeah. Like,
thankfully, we don't take it personal at all, because honestly, we have no clue who the people are.
Or what's even going on in their lives and why they're
maybe
talking
they're
to us like that.
just not too stoked on life, or something happened to them that they're just kind of more negative. So I hope that those people are just, maybe they'll see this and they'll just see, like, we weren't putting our kids in danger. We weren't doing it for anything.
The fame, the attention, because there's some in there that call.
That mom's doing home births, it's all about them.
Yeah. Which,
that's not why I had a home birth, or tried to have a home birth at all.
Why'd you have a home birth?
That was a really weird way to ask a question. You just look like you were like a 4-year-old asking. Why we wanted to have a home birth was, in the beginning, we wanted to cut the NICU time, because normally if you have them before 35 and a half weeks or 36 weeks, I'm not sure exactly, they automatically go to the NICU. Which,
having twins before the 35 and a half week mark is possible.
But a lot of, I just had a friend that had them early, I think around then, and they didn't do any NICU time, and they're super teeny, so it's awesome. And then the rate of a cesarean was super high, which I had one of those. And then one of the biggest reasons was I knew that I would have to deliver in the OR, and it would just be me and Paul, and that is not part of my birthing plan at all. Like, people gave me a hard time for watching hockey, where their Stanley Cup final game was on, or
the way that she was progressing.
The way I was progressing, because there's too many people, but that's my life. I need my friends, my family. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted in my birth. It's a happy thing with everyone to enjoy, and everyone to be a part of, and everyone to support us. So that's one of the major reasons why I wanted to have a home birth. And with DREE, she was a very easy birth. I know twin birth is different, and they were breached and all these different things, but I just thought I would be a good candidate for it. And so I had DREE from the first contraction to her out was like 9 hours. And I was at the hospital for, I think, 3 hours, like, before. And
you pushed for like 20 minutes.
I pushed for 20 minutes. So it's just a really fast, easy birth. And laboring to me is very mental. It's all mental. And so, I mean, yes, it's physical, but the pain-wise, I was able to manage it really well with DREE and with them. And so I just feel like that's part I wasn't worried about, so I didn't really need the epidural or anything that I thought about. And so that's mostly why I wanted to have a home birth. I just wanted the experience of it. Oh, she didn't like that.
She wants to be held.
Oh, good girl. And so, the whole time we'll kind of go through things that we didn't go over because we didn't really narrate it. I got my membrane swept. Right after that, I started feeling contractions, like, pretty intensely. And I was like, oh, whoa, this is weird. Like, it happened really fast because I did not have that done with DREE. I just went into labor. The reason why I wanted to do the membrane strip, they normally say, if you're almost in labor, it will help. If you're not near labor, it's not going to do anything and it's not going to hurt anything.
It's like
so
if you're like right on the verge.
If you're right on the verge, it might push you over to start labor, which it did for me. And Paul was leaving for a job in the Netherlands in 2 weeks. 2 weeks before we had them.
That was 10 days.
10 days before we had them. He was like going to leave. And so it's like, oh my gosh, it's getting really close. Like, there's just so much. Like, he's going to leave and they're like brand new, or what if they're not even born yet? So we were kind of worried. And I was like 39 in 1 day. So it was like, they were healthy babies.
Yeah.
So we were just like trying to do it like that way. It worked. But honestly, I don't know if they'd ever have come out if we didn't start progressing them. I don't know. Who knows? I can't say that. Never mind. But, so that's probably why we were more pushing it, and I was so uncomfortable. The last week, it was the hardest week of my entire life.
Yeah.
Well, I should take that back. It was the hardest pregnancy week, because, I mean, they were pretty hard the first couple weeks. But
yeah, that's true.
The last week...
At least for me.
Here. Oh, sorry. The last week we had them was probably the most uncomfortable I've ever been in my entire life. Let alone, like, just caring for DREE and just doing daily things. It was just exhausting. So I was ready for them to come out. The midwives and doctor got here around 5.
5, yeah.
Yeah. And they set up everything. We just hung out. I labored. You saw that. They checked me a few times just to see my progression. It was really slow. So they broke my water around 2:30, and then around 8 they checked me. So under 6 hours later, I was at 8 centimeters, and so that was more progression. And then after that, they checked me again around 1. I don't really remember.
Yeah, it's about 1.
1 maybe.
Yeah.
And so I was still at an 8, and nothing had changed. So that's when we had the conversation on the couch with my doctor. And let me tell you a little bit about the doctor that we used. He is a home birth doctor, and he does breech births and home births, because in the state of California, you cannot have twins or breech birth at home without an MD. And that's why we hired him, and he's really amazing, and he's super cool and super nice. So he's super comfortable with it. And the midwife has worked with him before, and they just have a really good team all together. So we felt super comfortable with them. The whole day was amazing. And so at that point in the conversation, I was still going to try to labor at home and try to get progression going. But roughly after 45 minutes of trying and going through contractions, I hopped in the shower just to relax, and Paul came in, we had a conversation. We just thought, you know what? We just felt like God was telling us, you know, it's okay to go to the hospital. I feel like this was the right thing for us to do. We prayed about it. We cried. And it was just an immediate peace we had about it. So it was a really big blessing just to have that peace about going to the hospital. And then after... And then when I was in the shower and we were talking, it hit us that we had to leave DREE. And we were not ready for that.
No.
It seriously was like just heartbreaking. I mean, we both have left her individually. We've never left her together overnight and for a couple nights. And it was just like, I don't know. We were emotional. We were tired. And it was just so hard to leave her, knowing like we're going to bring her baby brother and sister home, but she didn't understand that because she thought they were going to come home here, and she just the whole thing was just hard on us. She was totally fine.
Yeah.
Thank you to grandmas and grandpas and aunties and uncles. But yeah, so that part was hard. And then went to the hospital. Labor started to hurt more because I think I just knew I was going to get relief soon. And I was like, just give me the relief. And I was just ready for the C-section, ready to be done with the laboring process. And so once we decided that we were going to go to the hospital also, my sister was able to call the OB that delivered DREE at the hospital. And so she was working, thankfully. And I had already talked to her previously about this is what our plan was, have the home birth with twins, blah, blah. And she thought it was crazy, but she respected our choice. And we communicated that if I do need a cesarean, I would like her to do it if she's working, and if it works out, that would be awesome. So my sister calls her, and she is working, and she was like, yep, just come in before dinner time. And so that was like 2:30, or yeah, I don't remember exactly. And so I was like, okay. And so I was like, let's just get going so we're there and she's not waiting for us. Yeah, so we were just like, all right, let's head over there. And so her and the home birth doctor, they talked on the phone. He talked about how the whole 24 hours had been before and just gave her an update. And so it was good that they got to communicate about that before we got to the hospital. Then when we got to the hospital, my doctor and the midwives came and they gave them all my vitals, all the baby's vitals, all the information of what we did, breaking water, everything.
It was a really smooth transition because I've heard like horror stories of just midwives and doctors not getting along, and there's just this superiorship of who's greater and who's not. But the bottom line is everything went like super smooth and kind of just made it better for us as the patients because we didn't have to be in the middle of this crazy nonsense of arguing and why this, why that, but
it was just a really good experience, and I'm really thankful to my doctor, my OB, and the home birth doctor, and just everyone. I mean, She's very
professional.
There's a couple snarls here and there from other staff members, but other than that, everyone was like, "Oh man, you went this far? Congratulations!" Or like one of the the anesthesiologist is like, "Man, you tried to do this at home? That's good for you, good for you." And so it was just cute, and it was just encouraging to see that it wasn't getting transported wasn't a scary thing. Like I was fine, the babies were fine the whole time.
Yeah.
So it was just good. And so also another thing that people had issues with was Paul wearing a hat. I didn't know wearing a hat we didn't know wearing a hat was like a age limit or that you can't wear one in the OR. I mean, we're going to the OR, and it's like, what is he going to do with his hat? Is he just going to leave it in a room and be like, hopefully it's there? I don't know. It's just like he's wearing it. So he wears a hat.
That's funny.
90% of the time. Unless he gets a fresh haircut from my sister, then he'll like wear no hat for a bit.
Yeah.
He likes hats. I don't know. Okay, and then about the filming, and when we said they were just pictures. Technically, they are pictures. Technically.
If you want to get technical, it's 24 frames per second. So.
Yeah, so technically they are pictures. If you listen in the background, our doctor, the one that's actually cutting me open while the nurse is arguing with Paul.
Says it's okay, they're allowed to take pictures.
Yeah. And it's not like we were trying to film over the screen. I mean, the screen to have, like, was huge, and that's what they don't want you filming.
Yeah.
He was filming me. And Paul was never, like, not paying attention to me when I was, like, telling him, like, Paul, just focus on me, focus on me.
Yeah.
That was more of like, nurse, back off. I'm getting my body cut open and these babies are coming out of me. Just leave him alone. I was like so annoyed.
And then if you continue to watch, one of the nurses actually takes the camera from me and films me holding my babies for the first time. Like that's,
and cutting the umbilical cord. And so it's like
that's just so like
it
magical.
Was
just, like it's awesome. Like
yeah. And
I would never been able to get those shots unless one of those nurses.
Because, I mean, I understand. I think they're just worried about filming the actual cesarean.
Yeah.
Which...
They're just trying to cover their butt, and I understand that.
It was like a huge wall covering. Yeah. But yeah, I'm thankful that we had the audio from that and the video from that because literally it felt so weird them coming out. Like Raleigh coming out mostly. So, after that...
He's asleep down here now.
Yeah, he's asleep in the bouncing chair. So after that, recovery was hard. My stomach was ginormous from gas and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just... Okay. Oh, yes. I have some questions from the video. Yes, we knew they were breached the whole time. My doctor was fine with it. We were fine with it. Let alone, I don't know if we say. But then again, we didn't know that he was 10 pounds. And he was like, she was like down in my pelvic, no, it's my sister. She was like down here, and she was pretty much there the entire time. And he was like on top of her smushing her. So that's probably why they didn't come out that way. How were you not in pain? Did they give you something? At home, I had nothing. I was just managing it mentally mostly. And physically, I just kind of went through the contractions. But mentally
She's got a pretty good high pain tolerance.
Yeah. So I just mentally just zoned it out. So no, nothing at home, but at the hospital, obviously they gave me something in my spine. How do we come up with their names? So, Pensy, this little pretty girl.
Hey, honey.
Pensy girl, her name came from a book. And you probably know it, Catcher in the Rye. And he went to Pensy Preparatory School. And I just really liked that name. And then my grandma was telling me she's big on like Ancestry.com and figuring that out, all that stuff. So she said that was a big Civil War name. So I really liked it. I just thought Pensy as a girl just sounds so cute, and she is such a Pensy to me. So I love it. Do you love it?
I love it. And then Raleigh.
Wait, they're her middle name. Do we go for that or no?
Yeah.
No, because towns we don't really have a cool name for.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, yeah.
What are you seeing?
And then for Raleigh, actually, we were in Hawaii at this time, and I don't even know what I was watching, but I heard the name. I was like, just shouted across the room, "What do you think about Raleigh?"
And then I was like, yeah. Because
like,
literally, boy names were so hard for us.
Yeah.
We had Wesley. We had, well, I used to a long time ago. I wanted Sebastian.
She wanted Vladimir.
I want Vladimir. I love Vladimir. Please tell me if you like that name. And you would call him Laddie. It's just so cute. So I've always liked crazy names. So people giving us hate for these names, trust me, these are mild from my names. Like I used to want to name my daughter when I was younger Caprice, like the place, or Caprese salad, or like, Caprice. And I wanted her middle name to be Sun, Caprice Sun. Like legitly, that was what I was going to name my kids. So these are very good names, okay? People, don't give us a hard time. And so that's where we got their names. Raleigh is a English last name. So it's popular, and there's a Raleigh, Massachusetts, which we're big Boston Bruins fans, and
Big Bees.
Big Bees. So, yeah. Okay, let's see. I have to start my phone over.
We had a question of like what the stuff we're putting on the pads. What are the pads called?
Menstrual pads.
Menstrual pads, and we're putting like witch hazel on the pads because it helps like soothe.
And then
your
you freeze
vagina
them.
After.
And then you freeze them, so it's like ice pack, but it's antifungal, antibacterial like thing. There we go. So to get this straight, because some people were kind of confused, they were born on the 12th of June, and Paul's birthday is on the 13th, so it's the next day. That's it.
You got hair, Pensy?
So I think those were all the questions. Sorry if we missed your question.
If you have another question,
comment
below, and we'll try to.
We'll try to get to it, and we'll probably just write back right away.
Yeah.
Or when we see it.
But
when I'm not nursing two kids at once, and I have an extra hand. No, I'm just kidding.
Thank you for watching.
All right, so that was our update for our birth story video.
If you want to watch it, link below.
Yes.
You probably have already watched it if you're clicking this. But don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe.
Please, please.
Peace.
Because these little babies will be growing. And we'll go on very many adventures. Very many. So many. All right. Peace out late.
Peace out late.